Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, May 7th, and I'm your host, Krista McDonald. It is great to have you with us as we end another week here in Norwood. Earlier this week, the Neponset River Regional Chamber was awarded a business recovery grant from the state. Chamber President Tom O'Rourke explains what this could mean for Norwood businesses.
Hi, I'm Tom O'Rourke, President of the Neponset River Regional Chamber here in Norwood, and we are very excited to announce that we recently received a grant from the state of Massachusetts Mass Office of Business Development in the amount of $95,000 to do a couple of programs to help local businesses that have been impacted so much by COVID over the past year and a half. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to host a restaurant week, a regional restaurant week for the towns of Canton, Dedham, Norwood, and Westwood. It'll be held from June 7th to the 11th, and we'll be promoting all the restaurants that are participating through our website, through social media, and we invite all the residents to come out and support our restaurants. We all know the difficulties that they've had, and we really want to give them a boost of support during that week, so we hope that you'll come out and join us. It should be great. Thank you.
Early Sunday morning, just after 2:30 a.m., the Norwood Fire Department received a call of a house fire on Rock Street. The crew on Group 4 arrived to a heavy fire showing from both floors. Captain Capilio was the shift commander that evening and explains more.
Hi, Captain Jeff Campilio, Norwood Fire Department. Sunday night, 2:30 in the morning, we got a call for a reported house fire. We showed up full alarm assignment. We had heavy fire showing, heavy smoke showing on floors 1 and 2 of a residential home. Struck a second alarm right away, which got us mutual aid from other surrounding towns around here. We had the fire knocked down relatively quickly, about 20 minutes or so, with extensive overhaul. Kept us on scene for about 2 to 3 hours.
Great work, as always, by Norwood Fire. We will be right back after this break with this week's Restaurant Spotlight. Welcome back. New to downtown Norwood, Fuego, a Mexican grill, serves up some delicious burritos and bowls and is a fresh new place to grab a bite. NCM was able to catch up with the owner, Tasso.
Tasso, owner of Fuego, located at 643 Washington Street, decided it was time to come closer to home and start a new business venture in downtown Norwood.
I moved to Norwood about 3 years ago, and I was doing business in the city. I had a pizza shop in Boston. And I just wanted to open up shop somewhere closer to home, local, become a part of the community. And I noticed that there wasn't really a local burrito place in the area. Everyone was just going to Chipotle. And I figured, why not? So I kind of just learned the Mexican food business and opened up shop.
Growing up in the food business, Tasso has always dabbled in different foods, but decided to make Mexican food his own special touch.
There's something different about having like a personal experience when you walk into a place, and like our customers get to know us by name, and you can't really replace the small time businesses.
The community of Norwood has shown a lot of support for Fuego amid opening during a pandemic.
Business has been great, thank God. We've had a lot of good local support from the town. Customers are really excited to try us out. It's been really good, it really has been. It was kind of scary taking the risk, but when this is what you do for a living, pandemic or no pandemic, I had to do what I had to do. And given that it's mostly a takeout operation anyways, the restrictions of COVID haven't been too much of a problem for us.
Tasso's goal is to have his customers feel right at home as soon as they walk through the door.
Just that, we use fresh ingredients, good food. We take customer service really seriously. For me, even more important than the food, I want my customers to be happy with how they're treated when they come in here. I can't stress enough to my employees that the most important thing is making people feel comfortable here and not we don't like to rush anyone. You know, we want people to get what they want, and just got to be friendly.
To learn more about Fuego, Tasso wants you to walk right in that door and see him. You can also check them out on fuegonorwood.com, Facebook, and Instagram.
If you were near any of the elementary schools last Sunday, you may have noticed a number of residents walking around with trash bags. This was part of a weekend-long Earth Day cleanup. Brian Boudreau has the story.
Progress Norwood hosted their annual Earth Day cleanup with the plan of cleaning up the town of Norwood. This event, which took place over 2 weekends due to weather, was open to any resident wishing to get involved. The cleanups took place at 14 separate locations around town. One of the locations was the area behind the Savage Center at the entrance of the Germany Brook Trail.
Sure, so we're here today as part of the Norwood Earth Day event. It actually spans 2 weekends. It's hosted by Progress Norwood. Over the course of last week and this week, 14 locations across town were the victim of a cleanup. Overall, I think there's something in the range of 150 to 175 people who have volunteered, which is amazing. Mostly the elementary schools, the junior high and the high school, but we've also included places like today we're standing at behind the Savage Center, which there's an entrance to the Germany Brook Trail. This is the trail that runs from here to the Willett School. This area basically has never been cleaned up, and as you can see, I'm sure Michael will pan our gathering so far, but we've got a real wide range of things that we've picked up. A couple of barbecues if people are interested. But overall, my guess is, just looking at what we've got here, my guess is that all combined out of all the areas, we'll probably pull 100 to 125 bags of trash out.
Many local groups took advantage of the opportunity to give back, including many of the Cub Scout packs.
So today is Earth Day cleanup, and this is Cub Scout Pack 42. Our youngest scouts are here. We have our older scouts are already out with their families picking up and cleaning up the grounds of the Cleveland Elementary School. So it is important for the Cub Scouts to give back to their community. So we feel that an opportunity like this is one that can't be missed. It teaches our kids to respect the outdoors, which is part of our outdoor code. It teaches them to give back to their community, which supports them in so many of their various activities growing up. And we just feel that it's important, not just for our kids, but also for the adults to be part of the community as well. Well, it certainly teaches them to keep the earth clean and the environment clean.
Even some teachers came out to clean the areas around their elementary schools.
We're here today in honor of Earth Day to help clean up here at the Prescott School. All the schools across Norwood today have some volunteers who are spending their Sunday morning helping to clean up. And we have a great group here, armed with trash bags and gloves, and we're helping to make a difference here in Norwood. Well, it's important to do this because, of course, it's important to make sure that we're taking care of the earth and keeping these great spaces in Norwood nice and clean for our students and for our teachers. I'm a teacher myself here, so it's great to see so many people come out and help the community and keep everything nice and clean. Well, I would say you can talk to your either principals, or I know the person who organized this is not someone that I knew before, but I heard about it and I said that that's definitely something that I want to be a part of. But talk to the teachers, talk to the principals, and there's always opportunities to volunteer and help out our great kids. I haven't yet, but I know I'm ready to share these photos with the other teachers, and I know they're going to be excited because when we're out here at recess, we always are finding trash and picking it up a little bit ourselves, but there's quite a bit out here in the woods, so I'm sure everyone's going to be very happy with the bags full of trash that we have here today.
Thanks again to everyone who volunteered their time to help clean up the town of Norwood. And remember, if you see a piece of trash on the ground, throw it out. We shouldn't need an Earth Day event every year to remind us of that.
Now we're going to toss it over to our good friend Juliana O'Neill to find out what is happening this week around the Norwood School District.
Hi guys, I'm Juliana O'Neill, and let's take a look at some activities happening in our Norwood schools this week. Last week was Earth Week, and Earth Day and many events were held at our schools. Volunteers were cleaning up our school grounds and green spaces around town. The cleanup spanned over 2 days in 13 locations. Over 190 volunteers picked up a lot of trash, tires, and masks, sandwich bags, cigarettes, butts, juice boxes, and cans and bottles. Thank you for helping cleaning up our schools. At the high school, the Environmental Youth Coalition organized a tree planting effort, and here is the NHS teacher and EYC advisor, Allison Lakeman.
Hi, this is our Tree Plenish Service Saturday. That's the culmination of EYC's Earth Week here at Norwood High. We've partnered with Student Council, so this is also a Student Council Service Saturday. And what we're doing is we're trying to replenish the paper that's used on a normal year at Norwood High School. So we're trying to plant, our goal was 200 trees. We're planting 193 trees today. So we have teams here bagging trees. We have eastern redbud trees, red maple trees, and river birch trees. And we're bagging them. Some people have purchased them and are going to come by for curbside pickup to get their trees. We're also planting trees throughout the town of Norwood, so kids are going off to people's houses and planting the trees. And we also have had trees donated to several of the elementary schools and here to Norwood High School, and we're going to be planting trees on the grounds of those schools. And we're really excited. It's beautiful out today. It's a great culmination to Earth Week, and we're hoping to make our community a little bit more green and make our community a little more carbon neutral and offset some of the damage that we've done to the environment.
Also, in honor of Earth Week, the NHS Pragmatic Learning Center, students and English language learners, students work together to plant seeds. Both classes are reading Seed Folks, where people from different walks of life come together to grow a garden. It's great to see the students interact and engage with each other. The seeds and the materials were purchased from the Dutch Mill Bulbs fundraiser, and we want to thank those that participated. The Coakley Middle School held their annual Jimmy Fund Spirit Week. They dressed up for some fun to help support a great cause. The Jimmy Fund is part of the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute focused on finding a cure for childhood cancers. Monday was Matchy Monday, Tuesday was Team Spirit Tuesday, and students wore blue, green, or gold to represent their team. On Way Back Wednesday, students celebrated by going back in time. But some CMS teachers got into Spirit Week as well. On This Is Me Thursday, students and staff wore something that represented their culture, music, talents, and hobbies. Freedom Friday wrapped up the week, and students had freedom to wear pajamas. The CMS surpassed their fundraising goal and had some fun doing it. Great job, CMS. The reading program at the Willett School recently had kindergarten students exploring fairy tales and folk tales. Naturally, the classic, The Three Little Pigs, is read and explored. Since they naturally work to integrate our reading and writing program with science and math, some of our teachers creatively added in a science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM, activity. The students created houses made of straws, sticks, and bricks, which were Legos, and they reenacted the story about when the wolf huffed and puffed and tried to blow down their house. The students learned not only about classical literature and stories, but also about how different building materials have different levels of support and strength. They also learned that while their houses might be more expensive and harder to build, those houses are often more durable and thus able to withstand the attempts of a big bad wolf to enter their homes. LMPA is an integrated preschool program, which means therapists also come into the classrooms to support students in helping them access the preschool curriculum. All of the students benefit from these supports. Lessons are delivered to both the whole class and in small groups of students. The boys and girls love it when Miss Lauren, the occupational therapist, comes into class, as she always brings some fun activities that work on skills such as building muscle strength, crossing midline, fine motor development, increasing attention, and body awareness. Recently, during our Creepy Crawlies theme, the boys and girls had fun using suction cups to pull themselves while in tummy down on their scooters to feed the big frog some flies. This activity was designed to develop coordination, upper body strength, and perseverance, which are all precursors to writing and attending during the school day. Even Principal Stephen Bilhard did not want to miss out on the scooter fun and joined a group of students who were scootering along on their bellies in the hallway. Miss Lauren is a pro at making challenging activities fun and playful for our little Mustangs. Well, that's it for the school news. There is something interesting happening in our classrooms and schools every day, and thanks to all the educators who share their news with us. Now let's go to Brian Dunn with the latest in spring sports.
Hello and welcome into the sports update for this week. My name is Brian Dunn, and something about a spring afternoon in NHS sports just puts you in a better mood. Thursday was a fantastic day of weather for spring sports, and we are well underway in this season. NCM was on site for 2 games this week. The first of which was boys volleyball playing host to Bellingham in their season opener. There was absolutely no doubt about this one, as Norwood was well on their way to a straight set victory to break the ice on the first boys volleyball win in over a year. Thursday was a tighter contest with boys lacrosse against Holliston. After a rout win against Dedham the day before, the Mustangs got right back to work. Jared Connell carried the goal-scoring load for the Mustangs, but the Panthers fought back valiantly and held on by just 1 goal in the end to escape Murray Field with an 8-7 win over the Mustangs. Instead of Around the Horn, we'll call this one Around the Stang as we take a look at the rest of the sports field here this week. Varsity baseball secures a victory with an 8-6 win over Ashland. Softball took care of business versus Ashland as well, a 17-4 runs galore victory for the Mustangs softball team. Volleyball, after an opening victory against Bellingham, forced 5 sets against Millis, but comes up 1 set short. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your Around the Stang update. And the action kicks back up next week. NCM is live for 4 straight days of spring sports coverage. Here's the slate. Monday, we got freshman baseball versus Westwood at 3:45 at the Willett Field. Tuesday, we got varsity and JV lacrosse against Bellingham, the first game set for 4 p.m. out on the high school field. Wednesday, we get our first look at varsity softball versus Hopkinton at the Lower Cleveland Field. That game is set to take place at 3:45 p.m. Thursday, we'll round out our coverage with boys JV baseball versus Medfield. That game also at 3:45 p.m. first pick time. Lots of action next week, so stay tuned to NCM on social media for all the updates regarding our live coverage and scores. I'll talk to you next week for a busy slate. Kristen, back to you.
Thanks, Brian. The Cultural Council met Monday night to discuss multiple items on their agenda. The council talked about their next meeting on June 7th and maybe making it an in-person outdoor meeting depending on the weather. They want to have it in the picnic area outside of the Norwood Theater and bring along their Cultural Council sign to recruit some people who are interested. Next, they discussed their community input survey and made sure it was equipped to be available. Again, the next meeting will be June 7th, and that start time will be determined depending on whether it's in person or online. The selectmen met with representatives of UAV LLC on Tuesday night. The selectmen discussed their concerns with the current condition of the safety parameters on the property.
Our focus is a more narrow one, or it might be narrow. Basically, we deal with fall protection, and by fall meaning people, falling off the edge and down 50 feet, literally falling. That's what comes within our purview.
In my letter in November of 2020, I requested that some kind of fall protection be provided on the proposed shear wall that would be constructed for the final project there. That wall, which would be constructed into the ledge, would have a drop of anywhere from 30 to 60 plus feet. And as a matter of safety, some kind of fall protection should be put on top of that wall. And that was part of the conditions of Zoning Board of Appeals.
The Selectmen's jurisdiction on this matter is limited to public safety. Selectman Donahue expressed her frustration on the matter.
Here in the town of Norwood, we're fortunate enough to have one of the best town engineers in the whole Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And I rely upon him and I trust him. He has asked for some additional information that he, in his wisdom, a dentist takes care of teeth, the doctor takes care of this or that. In his engineering, this is a very particular aspect of engineering, and it doesn't come up often, but we need some additional information about it. Now, I know that the people who are doing this project are really good people, and I know that they want to maintain a safe and profitable project. So it would seem that they should understand that their piece of land is part of the town of Norwood. And in the whole community here, we try and work together, and we try and help each other out. And the Walker Company next door, they're trying hard too. But how would you like to have, like a well dug on the edge of your property with a 60-foot drop that anyone that comes on your property could fall into? Now, Attorney Bailey, you said that it would be a big job. That's all you have to do is put up 2 posts and put a chain up at night, or do something like that on the inside of the property. It doesn't have to be a big expensive deterrent. And I've asked the owners of the property, how much would this study cost? Probably not more than $5,000. How many millions and millions of dollars have they made on the project already without a permit for all those years? Now it's time to measure up and time to pay for the study so that we can have the information that we'll need to put up the proper fence that they'll have to put up as according to the Board of Appeal decision at the end of the project. We don't want to be adversarial. We want to be protective. And we're asking for your help.
The Board of Selectmen have continued the hearing for 90 days. The Selectmen will meet again next week. Also Tuesday night, the Zoning Board of Appeals started off their meeting with the Pine Street case continuance about an addition, and the special permit was approved by the board. Next hearing was another continuous hearing from April 20th. The current lot is the old Sky Restaurant, which would be changed into a used automotive building. The board motioned to continue the hearing for the special permit to June 1st, which will give time for town council to look at it. The next case was for a new garage on Walpole Street, which had previously been destroyed by a fire. The ZBA voted to close and approve the application with the condition that the second floor of the garage is for storage only. The final case was a hearing for a special permit to allow a Ninja Warrior or parkour type center on Boston Providence Highway. The board motioned to approve this special permit for the Ninja Warrior Center, which hopes to be open by mid-August. The next meeting will be held June 1st. The final meeting of Tuesday night was the Library Board of Trustees. During the correspondence portion of the agenda, Library Director Clayton Cheever shared a letter written to him by a patron regarding the helpful staff.
The other piece of correspondence that I had was a piece of mail that came, and I'll include a scanned copy, but I welcome the opportunity. It's actually about one of our employees, our very part-time employees. It usually just works the odd Saturday, but happened to be working on a Saturday recently, made really a difference to this person who wrote me a letter saying, "Dear Mr. Cheever, I met reference librarian Stephanie." It was Stephanie Young for the full name. Yesterday, when she helped me find an article in Consumer Reports, the hard copy of the April issue is missing, and Stephanie printed an online copy. You should be aware that she's very professional, polite, and did not hesitate to help, and she did all with a smile. I'm now living in Westwood, but I lived many years in Norwood. The Norwood Library is still my favorite. I'm sure you're aware that the staff of the Norwood Library is terrific, but I wanted to recognize Stephanie specifically. Best regards. So I love the opportunity to say glowing things again about our staff because they are truly stellar.
The Conservation Commission was the other meeting of Wednesday night, starting at 7:30. The board held 4 public hearings, 3 of them being notices of intent, and were all approved for projects on Walpole Street, the Short Street, and Washington Street intersection and Willett Pond. The end of the meeting was consumed by CPC updates and a Norwood Trails update given by Holly Jones. The board elected Steve Washburn as the next chair of the Conservation Commission, with Kristen Capizio as the vice chair. The Conservation Commission will meet again in a few weeks. The town is continuing to prepare for next week's town meeting. Monday night was the town meeting remote training session for town meeting members. The focus of the night was to properly train new and former town meeting members on how to use the Zoom platform. Also during the presentation, members were shown how to pre-register for Monday's town meeting and how to complete their registration. Wednesday night, town meeting members, along with government boards, convened to review the town meeting warrant that will be presented at next week's virtual town meeting. After the warrant review, there was a Q&A session where questions were fielded by town meeting members in an effort to be as informed as possible going into next week. You can watch night 1 of town meeting live at 6:30 p.m. Monday night on the NCM government channel or online at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Stay tuned after this break for more town news. Welcome back. Last Saturday, children from all around town grabbed their fishing poles and headed to Hawes for the annual South Norwood Fishing Derby. This year was the 32nd year of the Derby, and former fishermen are now back to volunteer their time.
All right, lines in, everybody, lines in, let's go.
Yeah, so we're having the fishing derby, 32 years going. I've been coming here since I was a kid. My Uncle Mike, Michael Satt, runs it. It's a great showing today. We got some great prizes, kids are having fun fishing. It's just a great day for Norwood. Well, I used to fish here when I was 3 to 12, whenever the age limit is, and then I've been helping out ever since, just trying to, for the last 8 years, setting up and cleaning up and getting the kids ready for the fishing derby. Yeah, I mean, it's great for community, bringing everyone together. Kids love it. It builds great memories. It's an awesome experience.
When you see like a 5-year-old kid walk by with a fish about 4 inches long and they think it's a barracuda or a tuna, then you know that it's worth it. Rather than home on the computer, home playing video games, out here in nature. Fishing Derby Day in South Norwood is probably, for sure, one of the best days of the year in Norwood. Now, if you look up in the sky, there's only one cloud that I see in the sky. Today is a perfect day for it.
Also Saturday, the Rec Department hosted its second movie night of the season at the Mercer parking lot. This drive-in style movie setup was started last year as a safe and COVID-friendly way to enjoy the outdoors. They were so successful that the Rec Department decided to continue them this year. This upcoming Saturday, they will be showing the children's movie Onward. Don't forget to sign up on the MyRec website. Check out the Rec Department's Facebook page for the upcoming movie schedules. And a reminder to residents that Norwood Hospital is now offering COVID-19 vaccinations at their vaccination center in Westwood. There are first dose appointments currently available. To book your appointment, call 781-278-4545, leave a voicemail, and a staff member will call you back to schedule your appointment. Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next week, and until then, have a great weekend.